Take 3. Hopefully it's working this time. Let's goddamn hope it is. Alright. So, welcome everybody. It is What If Studier, and today we are here with What If Deku was the essence of a Scarecrow. So, this is going to be a mishmash of both Scarecrow and Junkrat. I'll explain that in a minute. All the credit of this original idea comes from Wildcard 4732. Go check him out if you haven't. He's a great YouTuber. And yeah, let's get it started. So Deku, when he originally starts out, he is brought up in the Katsuki Bakugo household, and his mother is quite protective of him before he and Kachan even got into a fight, you know. But as he recently figures out that, you know, he's not very average, as he starts to have those tendencies of a psychopath of, you know, kind of laughing to himself sometimes, and he finds himself perfecting a laugh, and, you know, just generally creepiness. And he's brought up in the household of Bakugo. So, you know, Bakugo as an abusive older brother isn't great for your mental health. His mother does try to defend him, but once he turns around 5, his quirk activates that he starts sweating. And now, whenever she would try to defend him, if she was to even hug him or get close to him, she would start seeing visions, start seeing what her worst nightmares, things that she could never imagine. And Deku, of course, not having Bakugo need to go near him to get blasted away, you know, keeps on getting tortured basically by his brother from blasts. But though Bakugo is much more chill in this version, he is still abusive. Come on, it's Bakugo. Now, Deku, from all of these blasts to the face, gets explosive resistance. Not enough that, like, if there was a massive one, he would survive, but he knows exactly how to defend against a blast. I mean, enough to be launched. So he gets obsessed because of abusiveness leads to obsession and stuff. So, you know, he starts, you know, crafting explosiveness in his basement, and his mom does not allow this, however, as, you know, it's explosives for God's sakes. So he looks to other things, as to weaponize something else. He's always wanted to be a hero, but his quirk, it just wouldn't work for that. So all the kids, of course, bully him. You know, if his brother wasn't enough, throw in the rest of them. So fucking Deku is just like a pretty sucky life. But he keeps on trying to be a hero. Deep inside, he still wants to be a hero, even though he's basically been forsaken. By this point, he's figured out that there's different ways to weaponize his sweat. And he would store his sweat in vials that he would keep on his wrists and ankles at all times, so that he can flip one out. And he's figured out that there's multiple ways that he could use this, like coating a scythe in it, and, like, you know, swiping a scythe from left to right, and the sweat would be thrown into everybody in front of him. Very useful. And then he would find out that gauntlet. You know, the gauntlet that Scarecrow's known for using? Yeah. He's a very shriveled up, he's very, I guess, skinny dude because of how much he's endured from freaking Bakugo, and yet he had to work out to sweat that much and get all the vials of that sweat. So it's sheer muscle, nothing else. Well, except bone, you know, that too. But the things that you see, there's zero fat in there. But he's not fed enough and stuff, so he's just generally a shambling mess. But yeah, he also has, because he sweats so much, and because of collecting the vials, he's been through all these motions of, you know, fear and seeing everything, so he's basically just almost completely immune to fear. However, he can still be scared, just very rarely. This kid, he just doesn't fear almost anything. Nothing. He doesn't fear death itself. Hey, shut up, ho. Now, freaking Deku and Bakugo go to the sports festival and actually get into the same group because, I don't know, I like the convenience of it. And he doesn't meet Ida or Uraraka. In the time that he does, he slips. He has zero fear, so if he slips and falls, he ain't accepting no help, and he ain't gonna slip in the first place. So no Uraraka and no Ida because, you know, freaking, I don't know, Bakugo isn't much of an asshole this time. And, you know, Deku is just kind of hiding in the corner, waiting for the sports example to start, gearing all of his stuff up that he had made over the years, you know, all the stuff, and they're like, have you made that yourself, kid? Like, you know, you're not allowed to use, like, stuff that you haven't made yourself. He's like, yes. You think me a fool. I made all of these myself, including the scythe. They're like, oh, okay, kid. Sure. Yup. Don't talk to me anymore. Bye. All the kids are kind of avoiding him. And then they start it. And Deku runs out and just kind of like tries to beat on the robots and just like, okay, this is clearly not working. My quirk was not made for this. This is really unfair. And he just gets bitch slapped around from the robots at the start. And he's like, oh, right, the scythe. He takes out the scythe and just wrecks one of the robots, slicing straight to its core, breaking it. Although he doesn't know where the cores are, he's learning quite fast. As he keeps on getting combos throughout all of them, you know, he is sweating a lot, so all the people around him are starting to get kind of illusioned, and this includes Bakugo. And Bakugo's like, God damn it, Deku, you're doing it again. And a fight erupts between the two of them, causing in the end for Bakugo to get less points. So at the end of the test, once Deku gets the exception letter, you know, he gets in. Support class, so that kind of sucks. But, you know, he still gets in anyways. Finally, he sneaks out his explosives, now cursing his mother's name, saying, you hold me back for so many years, my pretties, finally. And they're like, okay, this kid's clearly insane. The next day he goes into class, just kind of like, gets there at like 4 o'clock in the morning, just because he does not want to be late by any standards at all in the world. He doesn't fear being expelled, but he fears he doesn't fear anything, actually. Aizawa was like, okay, weird, I'm gonna just go to bed, okay? He's like, go ahead. I'll keep watch. Don't you worry, Teach. Aizawa was like, okay, if I get murdered, whatever, at least I'll be, bed. At least I'll die happy in my sleep. Alright, bye. So he goes to bed and everybody gets to classroom. Bakugo gets in, making Deku kind of like shiver a little bit, of course. And then Uraraka tries to come over and talk to him, you know, as she does almost every single what if, which I don't get, but you know, whatever. I'll add it to mine. He immediately takes cover inside of his jacket that's like fully loaded up with stuff, with bombs and stuff. Uraraka's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Just like leaves. He's like, oh, thank God. Oh, I didn't have to talk to her. Nice. Then he comes out. He's like, only thing I fear, chicks. No way. Momo comes over, she's like, oh, you're the new kid in class. And he's like, new kid? We're all new. Fucking what? No, he doesn't say that, but he's like, new kid in class? What are you talking about? But yeah, no, he, with his dosy tones, he kind of freaks out everybody around him. And ends up that they start doing the freaking test thing, okay? He reveals a little secret of his thing. He takes out the the darts that he used inside of his crossbow, and he injects them into his blood. I mean, into his back, making his muscles grow a little bit in size, making him like not as Scarecrow from before, making him almost burst out of his costume. You know, so they start the test and stuff, and everybody's like, "What the hell? How is this skinny ass kid?" Wait, no, he's not skinny anymore. Oh my god. So yeah, a little bit of the Bane power there. You can't tell, but yeah, no. So he goes through the test and stuff, and everybody fears him so much that when they're around him in the running test, they kind of just run the opposite way because he's sweating. So everybody around him just fucking darts out of there. But yeah, he goes throughout the test, finishes pretty much second almost because of just how sheer power he has now because of the boost. So then, after that, you know, he goes to school a bit more and stuff, and it's the UA attack. Or should I say exam, I guess. But yeah, when they go there, they say, like, get on your sports suits, like, this will be your first time trying them. Oh wait, did I forget about the versus thing? That's right. Right. So it's Deku Uraraka versus Ida and Bakugo. That's right. And in this building, you know, there's all the they made it out of nothing, right? So I thought that there had to be, you know, forest animals that'll be there. And Deku, you know, the guy that can call animals, he gets paired up with that guy instead. So it's a different thing. And, you know, the silent guy's like, oh, what do we do now? And he's like, oh, you can call animals, right? Yeah, I can. What about it? Stop being shy, you idiot. I know I'm silent, but I'm not that silent. I hate when people are this silent. They piss me the fuck off. Look at me. Can you do it or not? He says, I can. Fine. Summon some of my own pretties. He says, what would those be? As he whispers it in his ear, it goes over to Ida and Bakugo's plan. Same plan from before. They begin, and Bakugo starts blasting off straight into Deku's area, saying, "You're mine, Deku. You've always been." Smashing through the walls and then down. He gets to the same floor as Deku and the other kid. You're finally here, Deku. Ready to stand against me after your whole life. You've been afraid. It ends here. Bakugo, I was never afraid of you. Look at your shoulder. As he looks to his shoulder, he sees that there's a dart inside of his shoulder. He says, "What the fuck is this?" Taking it out and throwing it. Whatever. It ain't gonna stop me. He falls off his balance a little bit. As he drifts around, spiders start to crawl up his legs. Centipedes start to wrap around his arm, stopping him from being able to move. The walls start to close in as everything starts to bulge up around him, squeezing him tight, making sure he doesn't move, crawling in and out of him. He starts screaming. He can't even feel anything. He feels his life squirming out. As it returns back to real life, Deku is just sitting there saying, "Oh, this is my wrath. Thank you, whatever your name is. It's Kido. Kendo? Kido. Sounds like a bitch's name. Whatever. Let us continue. The next victim." Kido's like, okay. Come back. As all the rest of the frickin' spiders and rats and stuff start to come back to him. Deku says, finally. As they progress all the way up, they get to Ida, who Deku starts shooting his darts at Ida. Instantly dodges most of them, barely some of them hitting him where his engines are because he can't defend there, but it's metal, it'll survive. Until all the rats and the spiders start crawling in. Ida can't escape from those. Ida goes straight for Deku, however, kicking him in the stomach, making him slap against the wall. Him sliding down to the floor. Kido's spiders and rats go straight after Ida, crawling up on his legs. Before he can do anything, he's almost defeated. Trying to dash at Kido, Deku gets in the way, taking the kick full force to his chest, spreading out just a bit of blood. Smiling, however, he looks Ida straight in the eyes, tackling him, taking him to the floor, his sweat dripping onto Ida's forehead.
I'm not afraid. You will be. You're mine.
As Ida starts shrieking in pain and agony. Kada just kind of like shrivels himself over to the bomb, tapping it. Heroes win, although they seemed more like villains, but you know, whatever. Todoroki's goddamn pissing his pants right now. Just about. Being like, okay, that kid just straight up tortured those kids. He's gonna have to die. So basically, after that happens, then we have the USJ attack. Going into it, you know, Bakugo's like, that goddamn nerd! I'll show him. I'll show them all. As Deku's like, ugh, looks like he's still obsessing over me over there. Let him. As the warp hole person is explaining, you know, suddenly the villains invade, you know, all of them getting out of the portal, all strutting their stuff and like, you know, Aizawa just preparing to go down. Deku's like, no. Don't worry about it. These bitches, they ain't got nothing. Aizawa's like, please, this is no time to be coy. He's saying, no, I'm not being coy. I'll take care of this. Drifting down to the battlefield. Kido behind him. The villains are like, just a kid? And who the hell is that shriveled old man over there? I'm Kido. Don't announce yourself. Whatever. That's Kido. And he is going to destroy all of you. All 200 of us? You must be kidding, kid. I'm Shigaraki. This is Tomura. Wait, are those the same person? Fuck it, you know, it's just the same guys. And you are our prey. Get out of the way and let us take the number one hero, all for one. What are you laughing about, kid? This is life or death. I know, that's why it's exciting. Take out this kid, Shigaraki. As you command, sir. Opening a portal under his feet, taking him straight to them. No! Deku! He finally shouts. Like, crazily enough, he shouts. Deku straight in the middle of all the villains, saying, I guess this is how I die, correct? Then show me what you got! I was laughing. Yes, now you shall laugh with me. Fear toxin. Taking out his gauntlet, he bashes in one of the villain's heads in with it, and then poking another one, and then poking another one, swiftly getting back, and then getting back into a huddled position, where he had to fight 5 more, ripping off his shirt, the front of his jacket. They could see the exposed skin of just dried bone and basically what would be considered a shriveled old man. His mask starts to light up as, finally, he says,
Finally a challenge. A real challenge.
The villainous eyes start to light up on the mask that covered his face. Aizawa coming down, saying, "Do you need help?" The kid saying, I don't think so. I don't know anymore." Well, you started talking loudly. And Deku's just like,
Come on! Bring it all on!
he puts the freaking the serum on his scythe, swinging it all around him. He splatters all the villains around him with fear toxins, making them shriek and squeal in pain. He starts laughing. I wasn't laughing out of fear. I was laughing because I could finally have a real challenge.
Come on.
As the rest of the villains tackle him, he comes rolling out the back of them, pulling out some sort of switch-looking device, exploding in the middle of all of them, killing most of the villains, exploding some of the rest. And Shigaraki and Tomura saying, "You idiots! Why would you group up like that?"
This kid.
Tomura, right. Opening up a portal behind him, a shriveled hand comes out, almost gripping his neck. Cool quirk. Slices off his hand with his scythe. That was a close one. You! What? What am I? Please tell me. He dashes straight at Tomura and Shigaraki. As Aizawa starts wiping up the rest of the villains. The kids didn't have to do anything, actually. Until the Nomu is summoned. Coming out the portal, grabbing Deku's scythe and snapping it in half. Looking down at Deku, it crushes the metal inside of his hand. Deku suddenly stops in his tracks. What is that? The high-end Nomu. And that will be it for this episode. If you liked that one, please hit the like. Once I get it to 35, I will be doing another part. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.